بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. It is coming up to that season where everybody will start to hear some talk about elections and voting, and you may start to hear some strange ideas and strange statements. People will start to say and speak about what the Muslim should do in the time of the election. And that's really our question that we want to answer today. What is the role of a Muslim during these elections? And in order to answer that, we need to know what are these elections about in reality, and what does Islam say about that reality in the Sharia, and so therefore what should we do? These are the three things we want to answer today. What are these elections? What does Islam say about it? And so therefore what should we do? So I heard in the masjid today during Jum'ah or before Jum'ah, alhamdulillah, it wasn't the Imam, or I would not have prayed behind you, but somebody from the mosque committee, they made a little announcement. And subhanAllah, I thought, there's still another 3 months to go, but they're already starting now to prepare the people for the psyche of the voting. And I had to walk out. He started to say that voting is an amana. The voting is an aman, a trust. Okay? A trust to fulfill. Meaning something that you must guard and look after, and you mustn't let it down. You must not abandon it. And he started to say that we must be involved in political change, changing politically the society. And this is true, this statement is correct, we need to be involved. But what exactly is politics in Islam? And then he started to announce that they're hoping to invite some MPs to the masjid in the coming weeks to address and teach the Muslims in the masjid about how to become a counsellor. How to become a counsellor. So that leads to the question, really, is it allowed for us to bring MPs to the masjid? Okay. What happened to there's no politics in the mosque? What happens to the politics in the mosque will break your wudu? What happened to all of those stories? Now you bring the MEP, come and tell us about politics, about your kufr politics as well. Tell us all about your deen in the masjid of Allah. If you want to invite a non-Muslim to the masjid, is to tell him about the deen of Islam. Not bring the Christian and the Jew and the Christian and the atheists and the MPs. Tell us about your deen so we can embrace it. Tell us how we can become kafir like you. That's not what the masjid is for. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ فَلَا تَدْعُ مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا. He said the masajid, the mosques, they are for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, exclusively. So don't call to somebody else instead of Allah in the masjid. Don't call to besides Allah anybody, especially in the house of Allah. In the house of Allah. So what are these elections that are coming up? Let's read next. Okay, what are these elections that are coming up? First of all, an election itself is, as I will tell you, just to understand the reality, it is just a process of selecting or choosing or making a choice. Okay. That's all it is. It is a styles and a means, and somebody could say, look, in general the styles and means in Islam are permissible. This is true. Styles and means to fulfill a duty or fulfill an action is allowed, it's permissible. So the voting, and maybe I should use the board here. Okay. We want to know what are elections? Okay. So they are, to answer that question, it's a process for selecting or choosing something. Okay? Okay, that's simple. It's a process of choosing something. So obviously we know how they work. Everybody makes a choice. And the idea is that whatever the majority they say about that choice, we will accept and we will fulfill it, we'll implement it. And they will tell you, the Muslims, some Muslims will tell you that, well, look, the Prophet ﷺ, he made shura sometimes with the Muslims, and he made it binding upon himself that whatever the majority says, that he will accept it. And this is true. In some cases he did this, even if he disagreed. For example, in the Battle of Khandaq, the trench, he asked them, should we fight them in Medina or go out and meet them? And he went with the majority decision, even if he thought another option was better. So this is one example of that. So the idea of having a choice and going with the majority opinion is not by itself something which is haram or a sin. So that leads us to understanding, okay, if I want to explain to you how this falls in the Sharia, there are 3 types of elections, simply. Okay, we could make it more, but this is a classification for us to make it simple. Okay, there could be permissible, okay, elections, okay, or votes, okay, elections. Okay, for example, should we fight the kuffar in the city or outside? So you probably won't hear this from the masjid. But should we fight the kuffar inside the city or outside of the city and go out to meet them in the fields, in the desert, or in their own cities maybe as well? That's the question. Or it could be, should we invade Persia or Rome first? Okay, or both? Okay, Umar, he chose the option, why not both of them? And he sent an army this direction, an army that direction, he dealt with both of them at the same time. Fair enough. So you can have this type of election. Ask the shura among the Muslims, what do you think? Shall we conquer Rome, or should we conquer Bilad al-Faris first? Should we conquer the White House, or should we conquer the Greenhouse? It's up to you. Okay, this type of election is permissible. Okay, other things, maybe something which is not so, even this you can argue is even rewardable. To have this type of shura is, has reward, not just permissible. But let's say, there are other things as well, things that we can more relate to, maybe, okay, employee of the month, let's say. You have a business, you want to vote for employee of the month. Fair enough, akhi. Permissible, is allowed. You can do that. Choose your favorite chocolate. Let's have a vote today. Brothers, what do you want to have for dinner tonight? You want to have pizza? You want to have Turkish kebab? Or you want to have chicken and chips? Up to you. Have a shura, have a vote. The majority wins. Okay, we'll go with whatever the majority wants. Fair enough. This is permissible. Okay, this is allowed. Then you have other types of elections which are haram. And it's really a simple equation. If you're choosing something permissible, it's a permissible election. If you're choosing something haram, it's a haram vote or election. It's haram to vote in the issue. So for example, should we drink whiskey or wine? Actually, there's no halal option. Forget about lesser of the 2 evils. It's not about, okay, which one has less alcohol in it. It doesn't matter, they're both haram. Forget about lesser of the 2 evils. They're both evil. Why do you have to choose evil for? Choose this one, akhi. It's better for you, it's permissible. Why do you have to go for the wine or the whiskey for? Don't tell me beer or not beer or whatever. I was talking to one kafir, I used to ask him, do you drink alcohol? He said, no, I don't. I just drink beer. I thought, you know, to be honest with you, it's us. We're ignorant. We don't understand. Okay? For him, beer has really just a small amount of alcohol, not like the others that get drunk. Okay? For us, I don't understand the difference. The alcohol is alcohol. It's the same thing. But for him, he's thinking this is the lesser of the two evils. For me, you know, for him, he's thinking, well, look, you know, at least I don't get drunk and go out of my mind. I just have this little bit of beer. But for us, they're both alcohol. What's the difference? Oh, do you take drugs? No, I just smoke cannabis. Yeah, it's drugs. It's still haram. It's still intoxicants. Don't tell me lesser of the two evils. So, oh, at least I don't take coke. Yeah, it's still drugs. So, haram is haram. The lesser of the two evils is still evil. The lesser of the two haram is still haram. Okay, we don't have this idea or this choice. Also, there's a hadith even, you see. There's a hadith about the one who's given a choice between three. Okay, the choice of zina or alcohol or murder. Okay, this hadith Imam Nawawi reported and he commented on it. He said a man was given a choice between three. He can either commit zina or drink alcohol or commit murder. So he took what he thought was the lesser of the three evils. So he said, drink alcohol. He drank the alcohol and became drunk. While he was drunk, he went with a woman, committed zina. And while they were committing zina, the baby was crying, and so he murdered the baby. All because he's drunk. Imam Nawawi said his mistake was, he took one of the choices. Why did he take a choice for? He should have left all of them. That was the lesser of option. That was the best option. Is you leave the zina, leave the alcohol, leave the murder, don't do any of them. Why is everybody intent? You say, Akhi, look, voting is an amana, we have to choose one of them, so we have to choose the lesser of the two. Why have to choose any of them for? Why not remove all of them? Remove the whole parliament and establish Islam. No, you become Khawarij. Suddenly become Khilafah is the only option. You know, I was watching a video, the brother was saying, okay, this man, subhanAllah, anyway, I'm going to leave that inshallah for later. Okay, so these are options inshallah. Zina, alcohol, murder, this type of election or voting or choice is completely haram. You can't make these choices. Okay, the option of, okay, shall we, let's see, okay.
There's sweets going around.
Okay, mashallah, alhamdulillah. See, this is a halal election. You know, which one do you like? No. You know, which one do you want? You know, you can choose any. What was your favorite sweet? You know, favorite sweet of the month or sweet of the year. This is halal. It's permissible. But if you start to bring us, you know, some pork or some unslaughtered meat, dead meat, stunned meat. Okay, they say to you, what's the better option? Stunned meat, okay, or pork? Okay, just leave both of them, akhi. Have some vegetables. You know, it's fine. Vegetables halal. The others are not halal. So yeah, so let's check this on this. Stunned meats. Because people have this idea. Why do you make life so difficult for me? Okay, just because it's stunned meat, why can't I eat it? Because it's haram. You know, stunned meat, okay, or dead meat. Okay, both of them haram. Then you have, and I need a different color for this one just to highlight it inshallah. Kufr.